Sure thing. So I'm Joseph Warr. I go by Joe Warr. It's my artist name. I'm a junior and I'm an anthropology student. So I started doing art a couple of years ago. I really started out by doodling in high school, and then I decided to take it a bit more seriously and start drawing, in my free time and just kind of drawing on paper, figuring out, what works. Start out by drawing faces or monsters or maps or really anything that worked. I carried that on for a little bit, for a couple of years, until recently, where I started putting up things around campus. The thing that I talk about mostly is kind of just how it is, like the human condition, like what it is to be a person. So a lot of times I'll kind of poke fun at, what life is like as a teenager, growing up in the suburbs or having issues with, like friends or social circles or getting a date or something, things that everyday people can relate to. So I actually started out, I'm glad you asked that. I actually started out with a bigger work of more personal things. I have maybe about 700, 800 drawings, all in my volumes, right? And then I decided, I'm keeping a lot of this to myself. A lot of this is in my volumes, a lot of this is just kind of sitting in my closet, not going anywhere. So I think it's time I really put it out there and I really show people what I think. Yeah. So I went and I just started doing small posters, and the posters really don't take that long. I mean, I do them in sets of 12. So for me, it's like maybe an hour of work. But really, it's just having public work done and going out and putting things out there, I think is something that a lot of artists need to get used to, because people are going to interpret things the way they interpret them. And I think this is a good way to kind of get my feet wet into that reality. So why not just put it out on paper and let people see? And if they decide to tear them down or deface them or take them, that's kind of the risk I took by putting them up there. Oh yeah, of course. That's one of the big things that I really think is a big factor why I do what I do, is because I don't think art should be something that's hidden behind money. Yeah. I think art should be by the people, for the people. I don't think that there should be, any real restrictions to seeing art. And I think part of what Rowan lacks is a really good, street art scene, because we have a good skating scene, we have a fantastic music scene. And then I look at street art and there's really not a lot of graffiti or anything like that. There's no and there's stickers, but yeah, I'm not seeing stuff that's those are more like advertisements. Yeah. It's advertising bands, it's advertising streetwear, it's advertising products, which I think is fine. But I want to see what people think. Oh, of course. So my Instagram is Joe Warr Art and Music, all one phrase. That's where I post my art, my music. That's where I post my posters. That's where I post my, sometimes I'll post political messaging on there as well if it's something that I'm passionate about or I want to get out there.